Hey everyone, welcome back. Icon here. Today we're talking about jumps and spots on the map Hackney Yard. Real quick before we get back into this, I absolutely adore this map. This is one of my favorite maps. If you think back to past Call of Duties like Black Ops 2 and Ghost and stuff like that, there were always like classic maps. So if you think back to Black Ops 2, you're talking about Raid and Standoff and just some great competitive maps. If you think about Ghost when they had Freight, and it just seems like if you think back to every Call of Duty, Detroit on Advanced Warfare. I wasn't really a big fan of Advanced Warfare, but Detroit was just a fantastic map. I feel like this is one of those maps. So with that being said, one of the things that makes it great is that with Infinity Ward maps is if you can jump to something, most of the times you can get on top of it. So with that said, even the developers said that in these maps, they wanted to have power positions. So parts of the map where if you controlled it, you just kind of had control over the map, right? It's these power positions. And this roof up here is one of those. So that's where I want to start this episode. First thing is that most people know just kind of the usual ways that people get up there, but there are some special ones. So one of them is if you're on this box, you can jump around the corner to this box. And if you're up here, now you can jump to this ledge. So this is a really useful one in that most of the time people get up from over there or from this roof over there, but this is one that not a lot of people know about. So you just jump from that box to this box, and now that you're up here, other things that you can do is these are kind of the more normal ones, but you get up on top of this wall and then you can jump across on top of here. So this is a really popular one. You can also get on it from this side. So these barrels, this is actually the first one that I learned. So you can get up that way, and then from this side over here, there's two ways you can get up. In the corner, there's these bins. You can jump on the corner here to the roof, and then from this roof to this roof, and then you just repeat the whole thing all over again. And the other thing you can do is you can jump from this van. So from the van to the roof. That one I like a little bit more. Of course, I would miss it, but this one I like a little bit more just because you can see. So if you get up here this way, this offers a really good head glitch to that head glitch that's over there. So this is a really good one if somebody's camping on that head glitch. So I like getting up that way if I had to choose one that's best or whatnot. Last way that, of course, you can get up is by going through this building here, going up to the second story, and then jumping through the window. And you can't jump up on this part. It's just too high, but you can come over and jump up on here or on there. Other thing I want to show you while you're here, another spot that's really good. So in Hardpoint, first one's over here, second one's back on that side, third one's right underneath this roof right here. So a great spot to watch that from is you can come over here, jump down on this tarp right here, and boom, just like that, you can see inside this third hardpoint. So now there is part of this that you can't see, right? You can't see to the left over there, but most of the time, if you're inside that hardpoint, what you're gonna do is you're gonna be hiding in one of these corners. Especially this is what I do. So if we have this back spawn over there, we're playing hardpoint, and there are people coming out of the store, I'll kind of hide right here. So I would definitely be able to be killed from up there. Not a lot of times are you going to see people hide in this corner because all of these spots over here, there are just so many different lines of sight that you can be shot from. So there's that nice little spot here. A quicker way to get up there is you can jump on top of here into this window here, and then through here again, and now you're back up on top. Another nice thing, if you're coming from the top up here, is that you can get on top of this telephone booth, you can jump over, and now we're on top of this cargo crate. We can jump up into yellow here. So sometimes people like to, hold down this lane over here. So if you're going to this back hard point that's in the bottom of that building, sometimes people like to camp over here and kind of watch this alley as they're doing that. So that's kind of a nice little way that you could take them by surprise and counter that and get that kill there. So that's kind of this back part of the map here, covers everything in there. As we move on, I want to go back over to this side just because there's a few things over here that are pretty worthwhile and I want to mention. First one is that a lot of times, so I'll be on this head glitch or I'll be up here and I'll hear somebody like shooting up in this building area. So rather than run through here and do the obvious play going up these stairs, one thing I like to do is jump over the fence. You can jump on this police car, and from the police car you can jump up here, slide in this room, and get kills that way. So that's a really useful one. Of course, you can also get up there from these boxes over here, but I just don't like doing this as much just because it costs a little bit more time to go around that way. Now, if you're kind of camping it out, this spot's a little bit more campy, but say there is a hard point up here, and I've killed 3 or 4 people multiple times playing hard point in here. But essentially, if you want to get up on top of this, you can actually jump across and climb up on top of this crate, and this is a really good one. So if you're playing hard point, think about it. If you're up on top of that crate and somebody's coming around over here, the last place they're going to look is up on top of those lockers, right? It's just not one that's looked at very often. So I really like camping up here if I'm playing hardpoint, or maybe if I'm 1 or 2 away from, you know, a chopper gunner or something. That's kind of a go-to spot. If we're talking about power positions, this window is also a pretty big power position. So if you're standing up here, you can look back into this spawn. So all the way over to that warehouse over there. This is just a really good spot. So a great way to counter this is if you get a bullet or so into one of these people, a lot of times they come over here and they'll kneel down while they heal up, stuff like that. So another way that you can get up there is you can actually jump from this tow motor into this roof really easily. So that's a jump that's really useful, and it's pretty easy to do. So I'll use this a lot every time I do it. This is one that we don't really think about all that often, and you can hit all the time. So that's a good one. As we get back here, one thing that stinks about this building is that I wish there was another way to get in there. So I wish, I don't know, maybe one of these windows or something, but the only way to get into that window is to go up these stairs that are back here. You can't jump on this car and get in that window. It's just, there's only one way. What you can do is you can get on top of this building, or on top of this truck, and then from here you can get on top of this roof, but still you can't get to people that are inside there. In fact, even if they were to just cut out like a little piece of this window, that would be really nice to counter the people that like to camp up in this building, because if you have a couple claymores and you're up here in this window and you're playing very cautiously, that's a really good spot for people that like to camp, and it just kind of drives me crazy. As we go along this way, if we're talking about spots, this is a really dominant spot, especially if you're playing Search and Destroy or Domination. There's a B-bomb there, and there's a bomb there in Search and Destroy. So people like to camp this upper window, right? Going from the other side, you go up the stairs into this top first over here, and people like to see this. So this is a really good counter line of sight right here. I just love this spot. And then from this spot, you can jump on all this stuff, right? All these things you can jump on. You can go over to this box over here, which you don't even have to do that. Most of the time you can just jump on top of this. You can get on top of this truck. From this truck you can get up here. That's just a great thing about Infinity War maps, is that all this stuff you can get on top of. Speaking of which, if you come over here on this, you can get up here, you can jump on this roof. This is a roof that's really underutilized, especially if somebody's in this back hardpoint over here. A lot of times, if that hardpoint's end and the enemy team's in there, they're going to run out of here and run down this way and go back towards the other side. So this is a great way to get a couple easy kills as people are leaving the hardpoint. From here, you can jump on these roofs and get up inside this window that way. You can also climb on top of these boxes, get up on top of the roof. You can climb up on top of this trash can and get up. So a lot of ways to counter. There's a hard point back here, and then there's also a headquarters and some different things back here. So really good, a couple ways to counter people that might be camping up here. You can also, if this door is closed to begin with, a lot of people, you're just going to come up here and try to come through and get that kill. But one thing you can do to take people by surprise is you can jump in this window over here. So jump over to the side, get in this window. You can also get on top of this railing, and this jump is a little bit easier if you're from the railing. If you notice, if I'm just going from the stairs, I have to like mantle in. Whereas if I jump from the railing, I don't have to mantle. You can kind of just like step in, so you don't have to like do that animation where you can't ADS anymore. So that's kind of a thoughtful one there. And then last but not least, as we head into this main building, most people know these, but of course all this stuff you can jump on, you can get up here. If we're talking about spots, I really like this spot, especially for Domination. There's a Domination flag here, and for Search and Destroy there's a Search flag here. For whatever reason, people just don't look over here. You would think it's nice and it's out in plain sight, but people just don't look here. So I really like this spot. Of course I use it situationally, but it's a really good one. You can also climb up here, you can jump across over to this crate, then you can counter this line of sight by jumping that way. Last thing that I want to show you before we head off is that this is a really good one also. So this top window, people like to camp in a lot. So of course from here you can run over and you can jump and you can get in this window, and then you can counter anybody that might be up here that way. You can also do that from this platform over here. This is a rather straightforward one, but you can definitely do that also. And then last but not least, you can jump on top of this right here, and this I don't really know why you would. It's not as useful as some of the other ones, but the option is definitely there. So you can kind of run, you can sprint on this windowsill and then jump across, and now you're on here. So with that, that is all the jumps and spots on the map Hackney Yard. If you have any that I didn't go over, or any that you like, or if there's something that you learned in this video, go ahead and leave it in the comments down below. If you're new around here, please hit that subscribe button. At last look, like 86% of the people that are watching my videos aren't subscribed, so help me out, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to leave a like before you head out on your way. And with that, guys, thanks again. Thanks for all the support. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.